Hello and welcome back, guys. Now, guys, listen. I have some bad news for you. Now, recently you're probably aware of the new Horse Lords DLC for Crusader Kings II, which came out last week. And it was a very major DLC. I mean, technically I think they're calling it an expansion. And this expansion did an absolute, ton of things, but one of the major changes they did was it added a bunch of new provinces in former wasteland areas. Now, they actually did compensate for this with, because all the new provinces are in there, but since there's no history for them, they just all become more wasteland. So, despite the fact that new provinces usually means an Iron Man game becomes incompatible, mine is actually still playable. And luckily, I still have a copy of it. Theoretically, I might be able to play it if I load an old beta and deactivate the internet so that it doesn't check online for the checksum. But unfortunately, since I just realized what I'm saying doesn't make that much sense. Well, anyways, it is compatible, but unfortunately, and I found this out the hard way, Iron Man saves are sort of broken. You can still play them, but technology automatically maxes itself out to everyone and every level, even Wastelands, but only Wastelands that were already in the game. So the Sahara, but not any of the new provinces, which is weird. They stick out like a sore thumb on this map mode. And then also, Prestige and Piety are off the charts, and if you keep playing, it just bugs out to absurd levels. I recently tried testing out an old Iron Man save, and after the expansion, and here's a funny thing. You see, Paradox is a game that really likes to ensure the integrity of their achievements. You're only allowed to get achievements when you're on Iron Man mode and achievements are enabled. And in Iron Man mode, the save files are encrypted. There's only one, although I have discovered if you use a local save, you can make copies of it, which is actually good for me. While you have Iron Man enabled, you cannot use the console. It doesn't even pop up when I hit the tilde key. Basically, they go to absurd lengths to make it almost impossible for you to cheat your way into achievements. That is why I found it funny that due to all of these efforts they make to make Iron Man incompatible with any form of cheating, that it becomes bugged out if you try to drag it over to a new version. And that when you do that, that's why I find it really funny that due to their overambitious attempts to ensure the integrity of achievements, Iron Man mode doesn't really work over major patches, and so when you load it into a new patch, it bugs out in such a way that within minutes of me testing out an old Iron Man save, I got like 8 achievements. Let me just quickly show you guys if I can. Look at the timestamps on all these. I've gotten 2 during the course of this series, and then due to the updates and Paradox trying so hard to make sure it's next to impossible to get achievements without earning them, accidentally bug out my game so that I get 7 of them free. I mean, none of these are very difficult ones to get, but the point is, Paradox, you screwed up, and it's your fault, not mine. I don't know why you care so much about achievements anyways. The point of games like this should be having fun. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that the game becomes somewhat unplayable after a few months due to all the bugs. It looks like you can just ignore it, but you can't. It gets worse. It gets much worse. But before I actually do anything, I'm not even going to start up the game, okay? But there is one thing I would like to do right now while I have the chance. Something I've been wanting to do so badly for the entirety of the series. See, one of the nice things they actually did here was, as you can see, now all 5 of the holy sites for remove are appearing. The ones which are not settled are now theoretically buildable, and because of the bug, I don't actually have the money to do it. But one of the things that means is now they're considered partially controlled rather than completely uncontrolled, which gives us just enough moral authority that now we can reform the remove of faith. So guys, for those of you who have stuck around with me all this time, I'm sorry, the series has to end. It can't go on, not like this, not with this bug going on. But luckily, the save file still exists, which means I can still access limitless amounts of the game's history files. And what that means, well guys, expect at some point in the future, not the near future, it's going to be in the distant future, but sometime in the future, I will be bringing back the Curonians in a big way. I honestly don't know how I'm going to do it yet. But the Kingdom of Latvia is so big and so glorious, I cannot leave it behind. And I'm thinking I'll make an EU4 mod. I'll copy over as much of the history as I can, try to recreate the map and the history, and we can replay the game right here from this position. And again, don't expect it anytime soon, because that takes absurd amounts of time. But right now, I think it's time to reform the faith. The Remover Reformation. The ancient remover religion is proving unable to withstand the onslaught of the cross and the moon. Rather than abandoning the old ways, King Vykantas of Latvia and the most powerful priests have decided to reform the remover faith. With codified rites, a holy scripture and a strict church hierarchy under a single leader, they hope that the reformed remover faith is better armed to fight back against the weak and eliminate foreign beliefs. Our new high priestess is Marit von Kurz, who is the priestess of Briesen in Semba. Now automatically much of the land will convert to Remuva. A lot of it will remain Old Rodnovary, and the same will happen to people in the Empire. For instance, well, my son is... My family is converted. Tautvila has... I just want to check, because not everyone will convert. So, for instance, Plixov and... Golding. This guy... Goteen. It looks like the vast majority of people have embraced the new Remuva faith. Now, as I've said, guys, I'm going to need to end the series here, and I am terribly sorry about that. But before I go, there are a few things I want to do. First of all, Rostislav, who hates me due to the fact that he remained Old Remuva, I still want to grant him that landed title in there. There, you can have that. Now he likes me, and he will accept a religious conversion. And one more thing. One nice thing that this change made, even though it's invalidated by the whole bugging out, is they redid the subjugation casus belli. Oh. I forgot, you can't subjugate after you change religions. So, instead, I still want to go after Saxony, but I think we're going to have to change the target a little bit. We're going to make it a holy war instead. And Brunswick is big, but it doesn't border us. Obotridia would be only worth 2. How about a holy war for Holstein? Saxony will fall, or at least theoretically it will. As I've said, I can't keep playing the game. Not like this. So, I guess next week I'm going to be adding another time slot for the Jewish Aztecs. So, I hope you guys have been enjoying that series thus far. So anyways, until next time, I am Lord Revonworc, This has been great, and I will see you all later. Bye! By the way, in case anyone was wondering, the Iron Man game that I played to test out actually was a copy of the Curonians game. Funny thing is, you actually can make copies of Iron Man saves so long as they're local. So, just in case any of you were wondering, there were a few interesting things that happened I thought I might as well mention. Goteen accused Cousin Plixov of being a traitor, with no real basis, by the way. And Vykantas' wife finally gave birth to a daughter named Balba. So, anyways, there may still be hope to salvage the Curonians, but it will take some time. Still, I do still have my hands on a copy of a save that has never been updated for CK2 version 1.4, so there may still be hope. But, of course, until then, nonetheless, I think this series has sort of run its course. Nah, I'm gonna need to cut out most of this. Luckily, I was recording when all that happened. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, until next time, I am Lord Revonworc. This has been great, and I will see you all later.